Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty good.
You were a minute early. Look at that.
I try to be earlier on time or something.
Yeah, that's what my partner told me to be 5 minutes early to everything. I don't do a great job, but I try my best.
Yeah, they used to say in the army, like, on time is late,
Right?
early is on time. And I'm like,
That's ingrained in you now.
oh, Lord, unfortunately. But no,
Well,
it's a good thing.
yeah. Well, thanks for joining the WAG Pod. We have Chanel with Pup Pastry, and you're based in Raleigh. Started in 2023. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I know we were talking before. It was kind of your dog was having some hot spots, Suki. If you
Yeah.
want to, that kind of inspired you to go down this venture. So do you want to share
Yeah.
more about that?
Yeah. So she was having like on both sides of her, just like these really red, irritated spots. And it got to a point where we were consistently going to the vet, and they were giving her different medications, but it wasn't working.
Right.
And so obviously that's like a money pit. So I
Oh
had
man,
to, yeah,
it's like the dentist, right? They're always gonna find a little something,
exactly.
know?
And once you fix something, it's something else. So I
Right.
wanted to really like get into like what was causing it.
Sure.
Did a little bit of research, and it was like, a lot of things can be fixed through their diet. And so I
Right.
did, pretty much an elimination diet for her, and then slowly introduce things back and to
Right.
see, irritated her.
Right.
And consistently, it was these treats that I would get either from like Target or PetSmart or wherever,
Yeah.
but it had molasses in it. And I would give her treats without molasses in it, but pretty much the same one-to-one ingredients of everything else. And it was
Right.
irritating her skin. And so that's when like I pinpoint, okay, she has sensitivity to molasses.
Yeah.
And then believe it or not, like a lot of treats have molasses in it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know. I mean, I feel like it's very common ingredient, right? And I mean, it's easy to put in there. It's very available, and
Exactly. And it is like of the sugar choices, it is like a better option, but
right.
it still is a lot of dogs have sensitivities to molasses and it
Yeah,
is still very high in sugar.
sure. So it's a common thing with a lot of different dogs.
Yes, it is. So I found that, especially with her breed, and I also looked too when I was doing a lot of research, I looked for breed specific issues. So
Gotcha.
poodle mix, poodle and Bichon Frise. So I looked at those two. What are those two breeds like
Yeah.
commonly?
What was that
Uh,
second breed? That sounded French right there. That was
it
awesome.
is it's a Bichon Frise.
Man, I mean
They are
that's yeah, you nailed that. I had no idea.
I took 3 years of French, so I have like a
Got
little
a
something
little something
there.
there.
I'm sure
Sure.
they pronounce it a lot better than what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I looked up different things that, applied to those two breeds. And from there, we fixed her issues. And then I was like, okay, we're going to keep going with this right now.
Nice. Nice. And so basically from there, that starting to do that, you were actually making those treats yourself for
Yeah.
Suki, right?
Yes. So at my house, when we still lived in Virginia, I
Okay.
would make them for her. Completely stopped buying her stuff that was like in the stores because again, a lot of the treats have molasses in them.
Right.
Uh, and then I was kind of like, well, I have time. Like, why not make her
Right.
something?
Right.
Yeah. So,
That's great. So
yeah.
so fast forward to Raleigh, 2023,
Mhm.
you officially started. And I know that, we've talked a little bit about how you early on it was going to a lot of markets, but sometimes like finding consistent vendors is the way. So just starting it, right? That's not something that you had done before, right? Making
Right.
dog treats. And so what did that look like for you to begin the process of everything?
Yeah, so when I first started doing it, I didn't know like how to even get pup pastry out there. And then I remember seeing just come across my Instagram after I had made the pup pastry Instagram,
Yeah,
Wood Gardens. They put out that they were doing like markets. And I was
really.
like, okay. And at the time they were free of charge. So I was kind of like, that's perfect to get my
Yeah,
foot.
there's not much risk there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not free anymore, which I completely
Oh,
understand.
sure.
It takes money to put on
You
a
got
vending
in early
machine.
though. You got it on the good side.
Exactly. Yeah. So I did that, and I made my husband come out there, and like we were both nervous. Like I was nervous
Right,
because I'm like, oh my God, are they gonna like, like it? Are they gonna like get it?
right.
And he was kind of nervous, like, oh crap, like.
Right. Like if it doesn't
Nothing.
go well, then
Right. He said he had like a backup plan in case it went left. He was like, I had a gift for you. I had excursion
Sure.
plan. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I appreciate that. But yeah, it was really nice. So I did a lot of those. And then from there, you meet other vendors and then they tell you about, what markets that they do and, what to look out for, what to make sure you avoid. And then I got onto like selling online and stuff like that.
Nice.
Because of course, you want to expand past like the state that you're in.
Right, right, right.
But yeah, so
What
that's
what kind of advice did other vendors give you? And was that something that was applicable that you were able to utilize?
oh, absolutely. So you sometimes, they'll say like just because a market has like a lower vendor fee doesn't mean jump on it because
Right,
that can mean a lot of different things. And just because somebody has a vendor fee that's on the more expensive side doesn't mean that it's gonna equal, people coming out.
right,
They give like their past experiences. Okay, like these markets I've had a pretty good turnout. This market has been 50-50, this market not so much. And
right.
even too, though, as much as the advice is helpful, sometimes it's different. Like
Sure.
you could sell candles and it may not be a good market for you, but someone with dog treats or like food or anything like that, it's like their best market ever.
Right.
Of course, you take it with a grain of salt and you apply it to your business. But in the beginning, I definitely was trying like pretty much any market that
Yeah.
I came across was all learning experience and
Of course. And
you know,
you meet new people. And I'll say for I guess for the 6 months I was in Raleigh, out of anywhere, I mean, honestly, compared to all the other states as well, Raleigh is just such a popular growing spot, for younger couples. And I feel like the market all the different markets there, there are so many to choose from.
there
And
are
I feel like you aren't going to run out of them as opposed to like, you're in another state and you might have like one, city fair, town fair a week or something
right.
like that. Like there's a lot to try, which is something to be said about Raleigh for that.
Right, yeah. And the ones that are like consistent, like every Saturday or every third Saturday, every first Friday, like you start to have your customers that come there looking for you, like, oh, you're gonna be here next, first
Yeah.
Friday? And you're like, I hope, because you don't want to like, I guess, bring down the mood by being like, well, I have to apply and they have to accept me.
Right. You just
They
want
might.
to, yeah.
So you keep it positive. You're like, maybe I'll, I might. And then it's just like really funny because like I don't think they sometimes understand like the back end of it.
Right.
But yeah, so I did a
There's
lot
a
of
lot more behind the scenes than one man.
yeah,
But
then
you're
just
right.
saying
You can't really be like, well, we'll see if it works.
right because they don't really want to hear that anyway. They
No,
want to
they
be
just sort
like,
of be like,
yeah,
sounds good. They go get a cup of coffee or whatever,
exactly.
right?
Yep.
So have you had pretty consistent customers, when they're, because I know I saw on your Instagram recently you have those salmon heads which seem to go very, very fast, right?
Yes,
Do you
yes.
have like a certain clientele that keeps coming back to Pup Pastry?
Yeah, so as the time has gone on, like I have people who were with me since like 2023 and they've seen the many iterations that I have gone through. And then I have like, for example, one customer, love her to death. I met her last December.
Yeah,
She's been consistent ever since then. She's
right.
like, I love going to the Midtown Farmers Market. You should apply there. And like every Saturday, like clockwork, she is there.
That's
She
so awesome.
and I'm like, I appreciate that so much. Whenever you hear someone, they're like, "Oh, I came here for this market for you," and you're like,
Right. Oh, that's the best. I mean,
"Yeah,
I think a lot of anything pet related, dog related, I mean, often a lot of services, but you find that a lot of it is word of mouth, right? And so, like, you find, you get your original one, two, three customers.
mhm,
And from there, if they're, they have friends that come over, they have, that's how early on that I got our first Raleigh customer was I was wearing, we didn't have like official shirt. We it was kind of a print of our Wagwork shirt before.
mhm,
And I was walking to a coffee shop and the lady saw me and she's like, what's Wagworks? Like that kind
right,
of thing. And it just happened where, we got a booking from Raleigh. I was like, I
mhm,
have no, because usually now it's like, family and friends in Winston and other people that
right,
I
yeah,
know. But in Raleigh, I was in a new area, just like you. And
mhm.
like, I, went over to meet her and everything. She's like, yeah, like my friend said that she saw you walking with the shirt on and we had a mountain weekend. It's just funny how that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, because like, and you can do like as much marketing.
Hey, we go. Good boy. Sorry.
No, no, you're fine. I
There's
had
gonna
to
be some
call her.
dogs in the pod.
Yeah, I had to call her up. Just go ahead and stop, on the door
I know
making.
I saw you muted for a second.
Yeah.
I just accepted. Hey,
You can
Ruby.
you can do as much marketing like as you can possibly afford to do, but like the best thing is word of mouth. People are
Right?
going to trust their friend, sister, brother, cousin before they trust like anything they
Oh,
might see
100%.
on Instagram. And so that definitely is a big part of my business too, just like friends telling other friends and talking about it. And I even have my husband, I'm like, put this shirt on when you have a meeting.
Yep. Wear
And
it. You
your,
have to,
your
right? Yeah.
coworkers know that your wife, does dog treats and I ship. And he's like,
Exactly. It's
uh,
it's uh it's free advertising. My grandpa always joke, my papa, he's always like, I get a commission on these when you get, when you get,
yeah,
when he's
make
wearing the
it
hat, right?
big. Yeah.
I mean, my brother-in-law, John, who kind of had designed our hats and shirts, that kind of thing, he has his own clothing kind of brand. It's called Burglar Brand. And so,
Okay.
like, my dad was on vacation. He was like, well, I'll bring the Wagworks hat and the Burglar Brand. And then we got a picture of him wearing both of it.
Yes, you got to take advantage of it when you can.
It's cute, and it's cool to have people in your corner, like on,
Absolutely.
without a doubt, just starting on. Has your? It sounds like your husband's been very supportive of everything.
Yeah, I mean, and it was really his idea because we talked about
Really?
when we first like talked because he
Don't tell
works
him
from
that, right?
home. He works from home, and a lot of times, like, I didn't work at all at the time, and I would like just burst into his office, and
Yeah.
just like nine faces looking back at me because he's in a meeting, and I'm like,
Right.
and so like I back out, but he's like, you need a hobby.
Yeah.
Uh,
A hobby that might bring some money in too. That wouldn't
Right,
be a
but and
bad
then
thing.
so we talk about it now, and he's like, I didn't expect you to like really go this hard. He's
Right.
like, I just wanted you to have something to talk about your time. He was like, I didn't know you were gonna, go
Yeah.
so because in the beginning he used to come with me to every single market, day, night, inside, outside, raining,
That's
hot.
amazing.
Yeah, and then he was like, hey, like this is
Do
your
I have to do this anymore?
yeah, like this is your thing. I'm here
Right.
for you. I am
Right.
just not at these markets. And I'm like, okay, well.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll try
I
it out.
appreciate your honesty.
Yeah,
We came to a conclusion that he'll do like night markets with me,
sure.
like that safety aspect. But pretty much anything else, like I'm
Yeah.
out myself. When the weather is good, I'll bring Suki out there. And she's like a big draw for people. People will
Oh,
come
I'm
out
sure.
market and they're like, "Hi, Suki," and I'm like, how
You
you know my
know?
last name? But it's because I put her all over my Instagram, so it's like,
Sure.
well, oh, they're gonna know her name.
Yeah.
But she loves to interact with people. She loves to be held. She's a big people person.
Yeah.
So yes, it's really nice to have like that support. And I always joke that like my husband and then one of my other friends, she's actually getting ready to start her own business, but
Yeah.
call them my board. And I'm like, okay, board meeting time. Like these are some ideas I have. What do you guys think?
Right.
What are your opinions? Because he's very like logistical.
Sure.
And my friend, she has dogs, so I get that kind of like input from both different,
Definitely.
perspectives. And I'm like, good idea, not a good idea, and then I'll
Right.
go from there. But it's really nice.
It's good to have honest and consistent feedback, right? But then also there's, the tricky thing with like family and friends is like they're probably gonna err on the positive side for you, like, so it's tricky.
Yeah, I wish my husband was more like not a liar, of course, but he's no, it's just very logistical. If I come to him with an idea and he thinks it's not a good idea,
Oh,
he's
so
like,
he'll shoot you straight.
yeah, he's like, no, try again. Like, well, what do you like about it? He's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
that don't sound right. And I'm
Right.
like,
You're like, okay, back to the drawing board. Let
right,
me
great.
go to the other board members.
Right. Like, you know what? Maybe I need to stop asking you. And he actually helped me come up with the name for Pup Pastry.
Yeah. Ah, flow's great. It's
Yeah, this
all
is like an official record right now. I don't want him to hear me giving him credit, but he helped me come up with Pup Pastry. So yeah, it's like I was thinking of different names, and a lot of different names already have like Barkery or something like that in the
sure.
names. So I wanted something that was like a little bit different. And he was
Sure.
like, Pup Pastry. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
I
Good job.
love it. I love it. And I'm guessing that was your first time you had to file because you're LLC, is that right? So
Yeah.
you had to file and do all that, all the government nonsense and get that
Yeah.
done. How was that? Like, I mean, I'll say for me, fortunately, like this was right when we started, this was right around the time ChatGPT,
Mhm.
came out. So I was able to utilize that a lot to at
Mhm.
least tell me where to go and where to
Right.
submit things. But did you have experience with that prior or?
No, like as far as the LLC filing, that again, I did ask my husband because he has his own business where
Yeah,
he like websites and stuff like that.
yeah,
And so I was like, what do I do? What do I do? He's like, girl, Google is free. And
right.
I'm like, but I don't want to Google. I want you to tell me.
Right. You're like, well, you're better than Google. You're here
Yeah,
right now.
like why would I Google if I have you? But then even outside of that, additionally, when you make dog treats, like you have to get filings done with like, the state. I forgot what the actual department is.
Mhm.
Basically, they go through your entire website from like top to bottom to
Wow.
make sure that the guaranteed analysis is correct. Like you can't even say like certain terminologies or certain ingredients. You have to word it this,
Right.
not that way.
You can just call everything organic because no one really knows what that means, right? Like
Well,
that's
that, but also,
the
for example, I use a lot of like plain Greek yogurt in a lot of the different things, but
right.
I can't say plain Greek yogurt, even though that is
Really?
really what it says on the container. I
Yeah,
have to look at what the like ingredients of the plain Greek yogurt is.
sure.
And I'm like, but no one knows what cultured non-fat milk is.
Right.
And that encompasses a lot of dairy products.
Right.
I want them to know that this
More
is specifically,
specifically.
yeah. And so I asked, the guy who was assigned to me, and I was like, can I at least put in parentheses yogurt? And he was
Yeah.
like, that's okay. And I'm like,
Okay.
gosh, it was a lot. Like it was a lot of back and forth emailing.
Oh,
We
I'm
had to keep
sure.
on the phone.
Was your overall experience pretty positive with this guy though? Was it?
Yeah, overall, he was very helpful. He understood, like, obviously, we don't wake up knowing this. So, he was very helpful. It just was like I underestimated what all went into, getting
Yeah,
it done. And then every time you create a new treat, you have to
sure.
get that tested for like the moisture content and this, that, and the third thing.
Oh,
And like,
really?
yeah, it's like $75 per treat that
Hmm.
you have, and then some can go up to like 100. It just depends. And so you send it off to this lab, and then they test it, and then they send you back the thing that, the guaranteed analysis. And so there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah.
because I want everything obviously to be on the up and up, and a big part of like my marketing and position it is that all these treats are really good for like, your dog's health. I want it to be able to be backed up. And so
Right.
even though the cost is a lot, it
It's
makes
worth it. I feel like it gives your brand an extra step up, right?
yeah,
From someone just making treats from scratch and giving them to neighbors to try and stuff like that. Like when you're really looking for consistent clientele, consistent customers, having that already done. Although it does suck. It does suck to have to fill out all those forms and do all that, especially with food, right? Because I mean that can take upwards of a year, right, to get all
yeah.
of that figured out.
Yeah, and it took it for a couple months, and they're very quick with it. I will say, like, it doesn't take long for them to give you back your results, which is very helpful.
Yeah,
And it helped me kind of calm down because I'm the type of person, I'll have an idea every second of every day.
sure.
Like, is this worth $75 to go pay to get this tested? And I'm like, maybe we'll
It's
hold
honestly
off.
kind of, it sounds like it's kind of a good check for you, right? So you're thinking like, is this going to immediately like what's the ROI, right? Like, are you immediately going to make over $75 when you start putting it out? And then you're like, maybe, maybe not.
We'll hold off on it for
You
now.
think that the people who are testing, you think that they just like try the treats themselves?
Ooh. I wouldn't hold it against you. I have tried
Sure.
a couple of
Well,
things
you have
myself.
to, right?
But sometimes it comes out of the oven and it smells really good. Like I have some cinnamon in some things, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this tastes kind
Well,
of good.
it's to be honest, it's sounding because what is it? Culture. What was the word there for
Like
the Greek?
cultured non-fat grade A milk. And I'm like,
Right, right. But if we just go with yogurt, I mean, I like yogurt, right? You're putting in some stuff, like you might
I
as
like
well go a little
pumpkin.
simple.
I like all these ingredients individually. Now, and I always people at the markets, they're always like, "Oh, have you tried it yet?" And I'm
I'm
like,
sure people ask
well,
that.
they're
That's the
like, "Oh,
go-to, right? It's an easy little break the ice kind
conversation maker for sure." And then they're like, "Oh, well, can I eat it?" And I always say, like, you can eat it. It's just missing a whole lot of sugar.
of.
It
Right,
doesn't taste good. Like, I can see why the dogs like it,
right.
but I wouldn't say, "Hey, like, if you're hungry, like, eat this." No,
If there's nothing
no,
left, then you can go
yeah.
with that.
And then the little kids too. Sometimes at the market, they'll see like pastry. They don't see the pup part.
Ah.
And a lot of adults too, but we'll leave it for the kids
We'll
for
say
now.
the kids. The kids
Yeah,
mostly do
yeah.
that, right? The adults know
So
better.
Exactly. They'll see like the things like the cookies or the cake pops, and they're like, "Oh, like this is for me," and I'm like, "No, honey, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't want them to eat it thinking that it is for humans, and then it's not good. Now,
Right.
they're
And then you have a bunch of kids blabbing, I mean,
exactly
not even mentioning the adults, but they know better. So I mean
a
that's
lot of times they're like, "Oh, I didn't see the pup. Never mind." And I'm
you're like,
like,
yeah,
"Yeah."
that's
Meanwhile,
funny.
I have this like really oversized banner behind me.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes my eyes don't work either, so
You're like, yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
my glasses or whatever it is.
A little fogged up.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you want to take me through some of your current products that you have? I know you do like a lot of dehydrated meats, is that right? And then also you do a lot of you do cakes and pastries, that kind of stuff, as well as treats. So, let's start off with the dehydrated meat. I'm fascinated by that. It looks pretty tasty. I'm not gonna lie. When you're
It's something. I think the more if you looked at it just from the dehydrated standpoint, yes, it looks kind of, good.
yeah.
But because I get it sent to me raw, I'm like, I don't,
Yeah,
I'm
you've
not into
seen
raw.
the other side of it, and you're like, I'm good.
Yeah, and so how I got started with that was I've always given her chicken feet, um,
Hmm.
and that's how I initially got started because
And how did you find, bringing it in, but how did you find the chicken feet to begin with?
yeah, so at the Norwood Garden,
Yeah,
there's a farm that also pops up there. They're called Hidden Acres.
cool.
They're based in Lewisburg, but they are the ones where I get my organ meat from. And they were one time like, hey, we have chicken feet, like,
Right.
want them? And I was like, absolutely.
Hmm.
Like we have since then, like 2023, 2020, early 2024, we've been consistently working together. I'll go out to their farm in Lewisburg, pick up
Nice.
meat and bring it back and prep it to get
Right.
dehydrated and stuff like that. But that's where I get it from. Dehydrated. And then when the chicken feet got such a good reaction at markets, I was like, let's kind of see what other meats that dogs can have. Then that's how we got into like the duck feet, the rabbit
Hmm.
feet, the heads and all of
Yeah.
that stuff.
So, what does it look like for the dehydration process? Because you're doing that yourself, correct?
Yes, I did steal our garage to be able to do this, but so
It's
each
not stealing. You already own it. Your husband has his office. He doesn't.
that's a good point.
Exactly.
So
I'm Team Chanel here.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. At first, that was not the plan, and I stole a closet inside the house as well. I'm like, you know what, it's mine. So sorry. But so when we get like the chicken feet, I do cut off the nails off of the feet just because
Hmm.
dogs do not know how to handle the nails and it can become a
Really
hazard. Yeah, sometimes like
interesting.
they're the smaller breed dogs or dogs who are like the ones that will swallow it whole.
Right.
Those are the dogs that are kind of like, wait a second, what is this that I'm eating? So I just go ahead and
Right.
cut it off, just to go ahead and make sure that it's not an issue on the table at all. I do that for both the chicken and the duck feet.
Right.
And then for like the stuff that has any excess fat, so turkey neck, duck necks, I cut off the excess fat because that can lead to
Gotcha.
pancreatitis in dogs. And
Oh,
obviously,
really?
yeah, you don't want to contribute obviously to that. And then from there, they're dehydrated at a low temperature. Over 2 days is like the max. And
Is
then
there I'm sure there's a certain kind of machine or something that you have to use for that.
yes, I have a
You can't
there's
just set them in. You can't just set them in the garage and hope they Right.
they go well. No, so they are in dehydrators. So basically it doesn't get any higher. I think the highest temperature it can get to is like 165.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so they're low and slow in there, and that way a lot of it too is dogs can't have cooked bones.
Right.
So anything like boiled or in the
Really? What's the reason for that?
because when you cook it at a high temperature like that, they become really sharp, and so when the dog
Gotcha.
bites it, it breaks off into shards.
So same idea as the nails, right? Because when you're chewing all that, right?
Exactly. And then too, if they were to swallow a sharp bone like that, it can puncture something inside of them. It can cause an obstruction. They could choke. There's a lot of issues, but when it's
Yeah.
dehydrated, it's like soft, and so it's
Yeah.
100% digestible. It just basically like breaks up like 100%. So there isn't an
Nice.
issue of it.
And the 165 is typically the magic number for, being able to eat for humans, right? Right? They're like at least let it hit
Mhm.
165 or what, I mean, it differs from meat to meat, but I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Did you know all of this by doing it with Suki before, or is this something you've kind of had to learn as you've gone on?
I'm learning as I go. A lot of times, like I'll spend a lot of days like either listening to like podcasts or YouTube videos or doing a lot of research because even with a lot of things too are one to one with like
Hmm.
nutrition. And so that means it's always changing. There's always things being done to learn new things. And so I like to keep up with it as much as possible because like I said, I like to have the treats help any type of
Right,
uh, health, in
right,
dogs. And so if an ingredient comes out that maybe in 2023 when I started was good for let's say sensitive stomachs, but now there's another ingredient that's better for it,
right.
I'm gonna switch it out.
So
Um,
you have to stay up kind of on current research in that area. And it's not necessarily you're not because you're not feeding raw, right? You're dehydrating it so it's,
yes,
edible and safe. But I mean, there's a lot of information with raw food for dogs and a lot of popularity around that as well.
absolutely. And the same thing with the a couple months ago, there was like a outbreak of the bird flu. So obviously, with me selling chicken, duck, turkey. Those are all poultry items. So then now you have to make sure, like I already go through the processes of when I work with these farms, how do you feed?
Hmm.
How do you
Yeah,
take care of your animals? But
sure.
that's also something that I have to stay up on because again, the worst thing you want is for someone to get a turkey neck or a chicken foot, and now something has happened to
Right,
their
right.
dog. So keeping up with things that happen as much as possible is really important to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Lots of reading.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's why podcasts are great because you can just listen to it and kind of,
Exactly.
mindlessly multitask,
Do things at once for sure. It's a lot of that going on around
Definitely.
here.
I mean,
But
you are obviously very knowledgeable about it, and I think it's as anyone who's looking for, nutritious dog treats,
thank
dehydrated meat, I would have no doubt in going to you. Just hearing you talk about it and seeing the passion that you have for it's incredible.
you. So yeah, in addition to the dehydrated meats, and then I have the stuff that like I actually started out with. Those are more of like our baked goods.
Hmm.
Things. So we have one for like dental health, we have one for skin coat and joint, and then we have one that's like an overall health slash digestive health situation.
Sure.
And so all of those have different ingredients that all help with those things. And
Do you
for
want to talk a little bit about like what ingredients are like, hey, this is good for dental and this is
of
good?
course.
Yeah.
So for dental, it's called the Plaque Buster, which that name is under like revision. I just
Right.
have not thought of a good one yet.
Right. Right.
But, so that has plain Greek yogurt.
Blackbuster. I like
That has
just
the
use
plain.
ChatGPT, plug it in, it'll come up with something creative.
Sometimes Chat GPT, they're too like punny
Right.
with their names. And it's like, I love a good pun, which is the next person, but
Sure.
it's just too punny for me
I
sometimes.
need something called the Plaquebuster. I mean, I'm behind that name. I say you keep it, but anyways, you can keep going on the ingredients.
So yes, plain Greek yogurt, strawberry, sea kelp. And so
Hmm.
the plain Greek yogurt has probiotics. Probiotics is going to help feed their gut.
Hmm.
Majority of anything that can be wrong with the dog is going to start in their gut. And so if you can,
Interesting.
yeah, same with humans. So if you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
in and feed their gut healthy probiotics, prebiotics, and all that good stuff, then it's going to have a ripple effect on everything else. And so that's where the plain Greek yogurt comes in at. Strawberries, they have this acid, and acid gets like a negative connotation to it.
Sure, right. You
Yeah,
think Breaking Bad, you're like, that's not,
yeah,
is there meth in my
in the
strawberry?
lab or something. But it's a good acid and it just helps break down those bacteria that helps cause the plaque and tartar to build. And same thing with the sea kelp. Sea kelp is great to just help remove that plaque and tartar. And so all those things get put together. And then I do have like ground turkey in there that gets
Nice.
mixed. But that's more of like a flavoring thing
Sure.
because a lot of dogs haven't had sea kelp in their life. And
Yeah,
while it does have a fishy odor to it,
sure.
I can't really speak to the taste of sea kelp, but
You haven't tried
no,
it?
it may not taste
I
good.
thought
So
there was a Chanel guarantee for everything.
not on that one. No, no, no. So that's why the turkey is in there, just for more of like
Yeah,
a flavoring thing to entice
right.
them to eat it.
It's
The
like putting sugar in this stuff for humans. Same kind of deal, right? They
exactly
gotta
just
have,
to make it taste
yeah.
better. Yeah. So then
Where do you source all those ingredients? I know you said your meats, you kind of work with local farms or farms in the area that you've met. What about the other stuff?
Yes. So like stuff like the pumpkin and ingredients, stuff like that, those are all like at your grocery store.
Yeah.
It isn't anything like crazy.
Right.
But and when for example, when you're looking at the plain Greek yogurt, you want plain and you
Hmm.
want to be non-fat.
Right.
Strawberries, I do try to go when they're in season. I get them from farms and produce when they make them, but obviously off season, then I'm searching
Right.
like, grocery stores for like the best
And
strawberry.
if humans are eating it, right, then it's kind
Yeah,
of good enough,
and for some of the strawberries, they look a little questionable in a grocery store, and I'm like, I'm not using that.
Right.
But more power to you. It's crazy, but that's always like that was a good one, and I like that one just because it's like in stick form, so it helps to like get in all of their teeth and stuff like that.
Nice.
The pumpkin patch, that one is more of our like our overall wellness stuff, so it obviously has like pumpkin in there.
Is it
It has
called the Pumpkin Patch Buster, or is that just the plaque one?
it's just the pumpkin patch,
You should
yeah.
add Buster on the end of all of them. I think that'd be nice.
Buster, everything is a buster. And that was actually the very first treat that I
Yeah.
made was the pumpkin patch.
Nice.
So it has pumpkin and blueberries in it. Blueberries is an antioxidant, so
Okay.
that's good for dogs. And then I also have slippery elm in there. It's great for their digestive health, and it's great.
Slippery elm. What exactly is that?
You know, I can't break that down for you. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's okay. I mean,
You
I'll
know,
say when you said it, I was like, that sounds healthy. That sounds good. I will
and
if
it
I
is.
see that on a ingredient list, I'm good.
Yeah, and it's a plant-based it's a plant that they can ground into powder.
Right. Is it
So
is a
that
type of plant. Right. It's not
right,
a
yeah,
slippery eel. It's elm. Okay.
right. Like I don't know like the scientific name or
Ah,
anything like that.
who needs
Um,
that? We have Google, right? Or your husband might know. You can always ask him
no,
too.
I that is Google. Okay.
Yes.
Why would I use my fingers to Google?
Exactly.
Ask you a question. That's crazy. And then it also has ginger in
Hmm.
there. Ginger is again great for, sensitive stomachs. And then the omega treat was called the omega cookie, but like my friend and I call it the omega for
I like
short.
that. That's cute. That's cute.
Sometimes I slip up when I'm talking about it, and I'm like, they probably have no idea what I'm talking
Nah,
about.
I'm assuming it's something to do with
But
omega 3 or whatever.
exactly. Or when I first
Omega. I like
when I
I
originally
like that.
when we originally and even to my same friend, we call the plaque buster plaque busty.
Black Bussy. I like that too. Adding the E, that noise on the end. I mean, sales probably
Everything
go up 100%
you,
immediately.
you might be onto something, but yeah, everything gets a nickname.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're the plaque busty and the omegas, but
Yeah.
um
Omegas.
it has green lipped mussel powder in it, egg, and then it has flaxseed. So all
Yeah.
those things are great for, like I said, skin, coat, and joint health. Um, and that's one I give to her a lot because again, even though she hasn't had the bald patches in a while, you still want to stay up on it. You don't want
Right.
to like be behind. You don't be reactive. You want to be proactive.
Sure.
So I give that to her a lot. And then I guess the final component of pup pastry is the cakes. The cakes
Hmm.
were a total accident. That was never in the plans for pup
Yeah.
pastry. But when I was at my gym, I used to like challenge myself to talk about pup pastry at least one time a day because I used to be really shy to talk about it. I don't know
Sure.
why. I don't like
It's hard, but I think it's a thing of like you're putting yourself out there and you really believe in your product and it's almost like the fear of rejection or feel like of like,
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think that's hard, but I think doing those things makes it's hard. It sucks at the time, but when you actually make yourself do that, like same thing. My dad's just been on me about like, hey, go put up some posters. Like I'm sure they
Mhm.
won't make, but finally I was just like, all right, whatever. Just put it to a bunch of coffee shops, breweries. I was like,
Right.
mind if I toss this up there? And every people are
Every time
typically
they're
pretty
like
nice.
really nice about it and they're like,
Right.
of course. And I'm like, why am I
Like,
in the
yeah,
car
exactly. You're talking about like
stressing
healthy dog
out?
treats.
Yeah. So I asked one of the ladies at my gym, I was telling her about, the treats.
Hmm.
And a couple days later, she was like, hey, like, do you do cakes?
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, I don't. But out loud, I was like, absolutely. Like, of course I do
Yeah, of
cake.
course.
And then I come home and I'm like, I got a cake order, but I've never made a cake before a day in my life. And my husband's like, well,
That's
you better
awesome.
get to working
Right.
on it. And it's funny now looking back because that cake was the very first cake, and you can tell by looking at it.
Sure.
But, I've grown, and she actually got a second cake this year.
Really.
So I gave her a little discount because I was like, I feel so bad that your first cake.
I think that's a great like story though, and it's great that like she's she enjoyed it, went back, and like
Yeah.
you will only continue to improve at your craft. And I think like you going and saying, "Hey, I have to talk to someone about this today," that ended up in adding a whole nother portion of your business and bringing it
Absolutely.
together. And I actually saw, I follow because I've had Baden Jackson from Pup Park Shuttle on here,
Mhm.
and I saw, on his story, and this is when you and I had just talked the other day, and then I
Yeah.
saw like he was like, thanks to Pup Pastry Co. on Instagram. I was like, that's awesome. Like, yeah,
Yeah. The dogs on the bus, they love the cupcakes. Baden's great. He always either asks for the cupcakes or he'll send all people my way.
yeah,
So I really appreciate that, of
yeah,
course. But yeah, so the cupcakes are always fun. It's always fun too, having to go take them to him
right.
because it started so early in the morning. And Baden,
I don't know how he's with all those dogs.
he has energy. He's like happy. And we always joke, I'm like, Baden, this is early.
You know what?
Like,
I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe he's could be eating one of those pup park or pup pastry
the
cupcakes.
cupcakes. And when you love what you do, like it's totally easy to be up that morning. I'm
Sure.
just not an early riser.
No.
Like,
As
oh,
long as you're getting the job done, that's all that kind of needs.
yeah, so those are always fun to do for him. But yeah, so now I do the cupcakes, I do the cakes.
Nice.
Um, some of the ideas are really, really fun. Some of them are really, really out there. I
Sure.
had somebody, she wanted me, love her, hey Jean. She wanted me to do a cake in shape of a penis.
Yeah.
And I was like, for the dogs?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And it's because one of the dogs that she used to foster, now she's officially adopted it.
Right.
It's like Sharky Barky, that account.
Yeah.
It's like the dog is crazy
He's got
looking.
the red rocket going at all times.
It's crazy looking. And she jokes that it looks like, a penis. And so I was kind of like, okay. And like
Right.
I did it and she wanted like the faces of the dogs on there.
Oh, on the balls.
And I was like, usually I do like a lot of cake dumps, like, hey, these
Yeah.
are things that I've done. I said, hey,
This
that
one's not going on.
yeah, that's not gonna go up, but I so appreciate you challenging me to do
Sure.
something new. And she
Sure.
understood. She get it, she got it.
That's hilarious.
But it's a fun thing to do. People will
Yeah.
come these like human cakes, and I'm
Right.
like, this is for dogs, but I'm gonna do it. Like, why
Yeah.
not? Dogs
Might as
deserve
well. It seems like you're ready to take on anything, right?
I'll
it,
always
it's
try it.
it's nice also not being caught in a inside the box of like, hey, I only want to make these treats, that's it. It seems like you're very like open to new ideas and you have a lot of them yourself. And also I feel like I think the customer's perspective matters the most, right? Because they're the ones paying for it, right? So if you're able to kind of hear what they might be interested in and kind of apply that, which it sounds like you do,
Yeah, so
it's
I even did like
successful.
I did a poll on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people voted that they wanted like a jerky type of item. So I've been in the kitchen working up something. I have a new like bundle collection coming out in October.
Nice. Yeah, the wellness bundle, is that right?
Well, yeah, those are like the bundles that I have every day or something like that. But
Right.
this is going to be like specifically just like a new launch, so to
Yeah.
speak. You
Cool.
guys are getting the exclusive here. But
Oh,
it's going to include a jerky in there
nice.
because that's something
I
that's
might
been.
munch on that. I love some beef jerky.
It's not
Wouldn't
gonna
recommend,
not gonna be beef. It's gonna be another animal.
but yeah, you can't say what it is. You can't say what it is.
Not yet, not yet, but it's not a typical animal. I'll say
Okay. Well,
that.
I'm curious. I'll be on the lookout.
Whew, I'm nervous, but I think and stuff too, like I was really nervous to do like the duck heads, the rabbit's feet, because it starts to get a little like this is actually an animal.
Yeah.
When I take out like the duck heads and the eyes are staring at me, I'm like, I'm so.
Yeah, that could be tough, but
And the other day there was a rabbit in my backyard, and I was like, oh.
oh no.
Sorry, like it's like he was looking at me in my soul.
Right.
Like,
I think as long as the dogs are happy, I'm choosing dogs over rabbits any day of the week, every single day.
yeah, Suki's at the window, like, what is that?
Look at it.
And I'm like, oh, I'm not letting you outside. But yeah, so those are
That's
always fun
funny.
to do. And then I
Cool.
did, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I was just saying we're about just under a minute. So
I
I
see the
it's
notification.
conversation's been flowing, but just want to say thank you for coming on and anything you want to plug or share a little bit. Check out your website.
Absolutely. www.puppastryNC.com.
Nice. That NC is essential. We have that too.
Yes, North Carolina, because apparently puppastry.com is already taken. Thank you
Yep.
to whoever is not using that. Same with the Instagram, they're not using it. So
Yep.
thank you so much for that. In October, we have a new collection coming out, so stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Chanel. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to having this out next week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.